Hello, everybody. Welcome to this webinar. Today's presentation has been brought to you by Cyber Seniors and the PAL Canada Foundation. The table of contents that are going to be covered on this presentation are as follows. What are the different types of computers? Similarities between computers, tablets, and smartphones. Differences between computers, tablets, and smartphones. What is an application, as well as browsing the web, and tech troubleshooting tips to fix your computer. To start, let's define what is a computer exactly. A computer is an electronic device that manipulates information or data. It can store, retrieve, and process data. You may already know that you can use a computer to type documents, send emails, play games, and browse the web. Are smartphones and tablets computers? Yes. Smartphones and tablets are computers. Any device that processes input and gives output is known as a computer. What are the different types of computers? When most people hear the word computer, they think of a computer such as a desktop or laptop. However, since we just view smartphones and tablets are also computers, and due to that, they come in many shapes and sizes, and of course perform many different functions. For instance, when you withdraw cash from an ATM machine, scan groceries at the store, or use a calculator, you use a computer. In this list, we have desktop computers. Many people use desktop computers at work, home, and school. They are designed to be placed on a desk, therefore the name, and typically consist on several different parts, including the computer case, monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Laptops are the second type of computer you may be familiar with. They are battery-powered computers that are more portable than desktops, allowing you to use them almost everywhere. And personal computers come in two main styles, PC and Mac. Both are fully functional but have a different look and feel, and many people will prefer either or. PCs. This type of computer began with the original IBM PC introduced in 1981. Other companies began creating similar computers called IBM PC compatible, and that is often short for the version you hear in the market, just PC. Today, this is the most personal, commonly used computer type, typically including the Microsoft Windows operating system. Macs. The Macintosh computer was introduced in 1984 and was the first largely sold personal computer with a graphical user interface. Macs are made by one company, you might know that company, Apple, and they likely always use the Mac OS X operating system. Tablets. These are handheld computers that are even more portable than laptops. So if you are seeing the order, we start with desktops, we move to laptops, and we are at tablets. Instead of a keyboard and mouse, tablets use something is called a touch-sensitive screen for typing and overall navigation. The iPad, for instance, is a good example of a tablet. Servers, computer that serves up information to other computers on a network connection. For instance, you look at something stored on a server whenever you use the internet. Many businesses also use local file servers to store and share their files internally. Other types of computers include smartphones. Most cell phones can do a lot of things computers can do, including browsing the internet and playing games. Therefore, that is why we call them smartphones. 2. Wearable. It is a general term for a group of devices that are designed to be worn throughout the day, including fitness trackers and smartwatches. 3. Game consoles. They are specialized computers used to play video games on other devices such as TVs. TVs. Today, these kind of electronics include applications that let you access various types of online content. For example, you can stream video from the internet directly onto your TV. Moving forward, similarities between computers, tablets, and smartphones. Generally, computers, tablets, and smartphones are similar in terms of design. Even the simplest of phones fall into the category of computers since they have internal memory, computing power, and input and output devices. Although smartphones, tablets, and computers have significantly different sizes, the basic principle is the same. The engineering behind smartphones and tablets involve integrating microprocessor technology with a mobile network. They need to be connected to the internet to be able to perform certain functions. However, smartphones and tablets are smaller than computers, making them less capable of more computationally demanding tasks. That is why sometimes you will use your computer if you have one for certain things. And if you have a smartphone, you will have a preference as to what you like to do in your smartphone. Yet, with that smaller form factor of smartphones and tablets comes the added convenience of far more portability and mobility, which is the capacity to take them almost everywhere. Now, let's discuss things all computers have in common, and that is hardware and software. Hardware. It is any element on your computer that has a physical component, such as a keyboard or mouse, and also the internal parts of your device. Software. It is any set of instructions that tells the hardware what to do and how to do it. Some examples of software are web browsers and word processors like Microsoft Word or Google Documents. Hardware components. The internal building and hardware components of smartphones, tablets, and computers are pretty comparable. They all contain a CPU, memory, storage, motherboard, and display functionality. These overlapping components essentially allow smartphones, tablets, and computers to function alike. Software utilization. The operating system allows these devices to run programs or applications that perform different functions. The software is what allows these devices to do most of the things they do. Because of this similarity, many software applications that work on computers are also ported to work on mobile devices, such as smartphones and tablets. Desktop and laptop computers usually run Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, or Linux operating systems. On the other hand, smartphone and tablets operating systems are mostly based on Android and Apple iOS. Everything you do on your computer will rely on both hardware and software. For example, you may view this lesson in the Zoom application, which is a type of software, and likely you used a mouse type of system, which is a hardware, to click the options that got you here. Differences between computers, tablets, and smartphones. aspects such as size, features, and usage. Physical size. It is the most obvious and significant difference between these devices, smartphones, tablets, and personal computers. Computers are voluminous devices that allow more computing power, while smartphones and tablets are thin, sleek, and lightweight for more portability and mobility. Smartphones and tablets are ideal for outdoor activities as they have internal batteries that can be charged almost anywhere. Computer systems such as desktops and laptops are a little bit more stationary, with desktop computers needing to remain plugged into a wall outlet during use. When it comes to computing power, as the size is different, the desktop and laptops have much more computing power. Desktops and laptops have more computing cores, better graphical processing power, which makes them far more powerful than smartphones when it comes to the capacity of activities they can do. This allows desktops and laptops to run much more computational demanding tasks. Input-output interface. An input device, so that you know, can send data to another device, but it cannot receive data from that other device. Examples of input devices include the following. Webcam. This device receives images generated by whatever the webcam is pointing at and sends those images to the computer. An output device, in the other hand, can receive data from another device and generate output with that data. Examples of output devices include the following. Monitor. It receives data from a computer and displays that information as text and images for users to view. Projector. This device receives data from a computer and displays or projects that information as text and images into a surface that can be a wall or perhaps a screen set up for that purpose. A speaker receives sound data from a computer and play the sound for users to hear. And software compatibility. Computer software programs are designed to work with operating systems like Microsoft Windows, Apple, and Linux OS. In contrast, smartphone applications work with mobile operating systems like Android and iOS. Mobile applications are designed considering the limitations of mobile devices. As a result, the underlying operating systems of computers are quite different from mobile operating systems. Peripheral devices. Computers easily utilize external peripheral devices like printers, speakers, digital cameras, and even external hard drives, while smartphones and tablets do not ultimately support most external peripherals. A peripheral device essentially is an auxiliary device that connects to and works the computer to either put information into it or get information out of it. These devices may also be called external peripherals, auxiliary components, or input-output devices. Storage capacity. A computer's hard drive capacity can be anywhere from 125 gigabytes to well above several terabytes, depending on the configuration of that device. The commonly available storage capacity of smartphones and tablets is between 64 and 250 gigabytes. Gigabytes or GB. These are very common when referring to consumer levels of storage. What is an application? Apps or applications are a common part of our lives. Whether it's a program on your computer or a tool on your smartphone, apps are the software that enables us to perform a specific task. They are so prevalent that we often use them without even realizing it. For instance, applications on desktop or laptop computers are sometimes referred to as desktop applications, while those on mobile devices are known as mobile apps. App is the regular term for an application, especially for simple applications that can be downloaded inexpensively, even free. Most of the time, you would have more than one application open at the same time, which is known as multitasking. Web apps. A web application is a type of application that can be accessed through a web browser. When accessed in a browser on a mobile device, web applications look and behave like mobile applications, but they aren't the same. As web apps are in download from an app store, users don't have to go to the app store to manage their updates. Users can always see the most up-to-date version when they open a web app in their browsers. Since web apps are accessed via web browsers, users need to be connected, of course, to the internet to be able to use them. Web apps don't adhere to a standard operating system protocol, so just keep that in mind. They do not require approval from any app store. That means they can be released almost any format and when the developers of that application choose to release them. Desktop applications. There are countless desktop applications and they fall into several categories. Some are more full-featured, like Microsoft Word, while others may only do one or two things, like the clock or the calendar application. The following are a few types of applications you might be using already. Word processors. They allow you to write letters, send flyers, and create many other types of documents. The most well-known word processors these days are Microsoft Word from Microsoft and Google Docs from Google. Web browsers. They are the tool to use if you want to access the internet. Most computers come with a web browser pre-installed, but you can also download a different one if you prefer. Examples of browsers include Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, and Safari. Media players. If you want to listen to music or watch downloaded movies, you likely will use a media player. Windows Media Player and iTunes are among the most popular media players out there. Mobile apps. Here are some examples of them. Mail. This application allows you to view and send emails easily from your device. It is available for Android and iOS devices. GarageBand. It makes playing, recording, and sharing your music simpler no matter where you are. However, it is only available for iOS devices. Instagram. It is a quick way to share photos with friends and family. It is available for both Android and iOS systems. Mobile applications are the top performers in the app world. Thanks to their adherence to standard operating system protocols, they excel in quality, security, and compatibility. Where to get apps? Almost every platform has a storehouse where users can download both free and paid applications. Sources of mobile apps. Normally, they can be accessible through the device itself or a website. For example, Android users can download mobile apps from the Google Play Store and the Amazon App Store. iPhone and iPad devices can get applications through the iOS App Store straight from the device itself. Desktop apps are more widely available for unofficial sources such as Softpedia. However, official app stores could include the Mac App Store for Mac OS and Windows Store for Windows applications. Sources for web apps. The web apps load within a web browser. What this means is that they do not require downloading unless you are talking about something like Chrome extensions. When you download them to your computer and enable them, the browser runs a small web-based app based on that particular feature. Browsing the web. Devices typically connect through Wi-Fi or cellular internet connections. Sometimes libraries, cafes, and recreational centers also offer free Wi-Fi for their patrons, customers, and students. Most information on the internet is on websites. Once you are connected to the internet, you can access websites through a web browser application. And web browsers essentially allow you to connect to and view websites. The web browser itself is not the internet, but it displays pages on the internet. Each website has a unique address. By typing this address into your web browser, you can connect to that website and your web browser will display the information you are looking for. Websites often have links to other sites, also called hyperlinks. These are parts of the text on the website. They are usually color blue and sometimes they are underlined or bold. So if you click the text, your browser will load a different page. Web authors use hyperlinks to connect to relevant pages. This web of links is one of the most unique features of the internet, lending to the old name World Wide Web. Each website has a unique address called URL, and you will notice that when you click a link, the URL changes as your browser loads a new page. If you type a URL in the address bar of your browser will load the page associated with that URL. It is like a street address that tells your browser where to go on the internet. Tech troubleshooting tips to fix your computer. How you fix a problem ultimately depends on what that problem is. It is often easier to restart the device and wipe the slate clean. For most devices, if they are not responding, you can force a shutdown simply by holding the power button for long enough. For devices that never really power off, like smart speakers and modern smart TVs, unplug the power cord and wait from around 30 seconds to a few minutes before powering that device again. Check for the latest software updates. A persistent problem isn't always due to failing hardware on your device or the commands on your device. Checking for updates can often clear up these issues. It is generally a good idea to update your devices as soon as a software update becomes available. Reset to factory settings. These days, almost everything, including smartphones and tablets, can be reset to its factory settings. Any smart device that's giving you issues may benefit from a reset. That includes network equipment like routers, modern smart TVs, wearables like smartwatches and fitness trackers. Just remember that if you do go this route, you will likely lose any user data or preferences saved at some point. In the case of a smartphone, this could be your entire photo library. Other devices will need you to re-enter your Wi-Fi information so that they can reconnect to the internet. Connections and cable issues. Replacing a cable is a straightforward solution that can often resolve your issue. This is particularly true for USB cables used to charge your smartphone or your tablet. By taking this step, you can either solve the issue outright or gain valuable insight for further diagnosis. In such cases, trying the cable with different devices can be helpful in troubleshooting, putting the power of diagnosis and the potential solution in your hands. Software problem. If your issue is software related and you have already tried restarting with no success, reinstalling the software in question might be a good idea. Essentially, try reinstalling the application. Some devices are put away and left for months, maybe even years. Even when you connect a charging cable, nothing seems to happen. When batteries are completely run flat, they often need to be charged slowly to avoid damaging the cells. In short, you should leave a dead device connected to a power source for a while before giving up completely. How long this takes depends on the device, but a few hours should do the trick. Buttons stuck or not registered. If you have a sticky button on a controller or a keyboard, you can probably clean it yourself. Use isopropyl alcohol and cotton buds. Isopropyl alcohol should evaporate entirely without leaving any remains. And that has brought us to the end. If you have any questions, please visit this website, cyberseniors.org/Canada. You can also call us at the 844-966-4468. We are available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.